Hi everyone, we are going to talk about today how students pay for fees. How people pay for tuition in the United States. As many of you very well know that it can be very, very expensive to go to school in the United States. But that does not mean it's impossible. We are here, we did it. Millions have come here as international students. They are not rich, but they did it. They just had a strong desire to succeed. Okay, so now today I will explain to you life in America and how to survive paying for fees. And through that, actually, you can listen to me and how personally I did it. I love sharing stories so you can see how I did my situation. I mean, for me, of course, at that point, I was a permanent resident. Actually, I was a citizen when I was going back for my education. So, of course, mine was much easier. But it's not any different for most people that will come to the United States. So I can explain to both of you. I mean, if you're in the United States or you're outside the United States, it doesn't matter. You can learn a thing or two. As usual, remember to subscribe. Where is my subscribe thing? Remember to subscribe on YouTube. I can't thank you enough. Of course, sign up for my newsletter. Go down in the link. I will leave my email and all my contacts. Go there, subscribe, and if you need any help with any application and all those things, I will help you, okay? Any questions I will answer. Just go in the links down here. You will find the contacts. Go on janetrangi.com and leave your information. So let's move on. America can be expensive for international students, especially when you convert that money. If you convert in, currencies back home, you are like, oh my God, how do people do this? But it's doable, okay? I'm here to tell you it's possible. First of all, understand that universities charge people differently. They have in-state tuition, they have out-of-state tuition, and they have tuition for international students. Of course, the international students pay the most. All right, just know that unfortunately international students are the ones that pay the most. In-state tuition means, hey, you live and work and pay taxes in one state. For example, if you live in Texas, you pay taxes in Texas, you work in Texas, and your children and yourself, if you go to school, you'll be paying in-state tuition because probably the state is supplementing some of those charges at the universities. So it's fair that only people that pay taxes and lived in that state can benefit. It makes sense. Now, out of state means you've crossed the state lines. For example, you've come from Florida and you're going to school in Texas. Your charges will be even a little bit higher than in-state. You've come from Nevada, you've come from Massachusetts, from Connecticut, Arizona, and you're coming to Texas. Your tuition will be much more expensive. You'll be considered as an out-of-state student. International students, of course, it's common sense. You came outside the United States and you come to the United States to study. Most of the charges, most schools will charge you as an international student, and the rates are usually high. Hey, by the way, good news, there are some schools I've come across, and I start making a list of those schools that do not charge international students higher rates, which is very, very promising. Understand that. Personally, let me share with you my story, okay? I was a permanent resident and I became a citizen. I was working in California. I was paying taxes in California. Now, we had some family, changes, and we had to move because of jobs and all that. So I moved to Texas. But before I moved, I had made applications for schools in California. Guess what? As soon as I reached Texas, I lived here for a while. Before I even got a job, I got admission in California. And I was like, this is the time for me to go to school. I am not going to procrastinate. I am not going to postpone these things. I just have to go back to school. Hey, so I decided to go back to school. Guess what? When I made the applications, because I gave the Texas address, they charged me out of state tuition. The difference was so big, my friends. It was so big. And then so I was so discouraged and I was like, oh my God, I was just in California. I was paying my taxes in California. My job is in California. Even my driver's license is still California, for heaven's sake. So and this is a trick. This is what you do. You never give up. I went to the financial office for international students in my department and I said, hey, look here. The board of regency has charged me out of state. And I've never worked in Texas. I just moved there. And it's my spouse who moved there. It was never my intent for me to move there. hey, look, my taxes I pay in Texas. My taxes I pay in California. My job, California. I haven't worked in Texas. My driver's license is where? Is in California. This guy told me, hey, write a letter and explain all those facts. I think you're right. You should be able to pay in-state tuition. That man gave me the best advice possible, and I changed, okay? So I called them. They told me to write a letter. I wrote a letter. Guess what? After a month or so, I received a letter. Congratulations. We've managed to change your tuition from out of state back to in-state, and that saved me a lot. Number 2, I'm going on this topic on how to survive, okay? Always ask questions. So I had this friend of mine. She was from Uganda. And she told me, hey, Janet, how much did they give you in scholarship? I was like, oh, my God, nothing. She said, oh, no, they gave me $16,000. I said, how? Maybe your GPA was good. She said, no, I wrote an essay and all that. Again, Janet went to the same man, financial office. Me, I never give up. I went to the same man in our department and I said, hey, my friend, and by they don't quote people, but I said, hey, my friend told me how she got a scholarship. I'm also struggling. I have children. I'm disadvantaged. I don't know if you have any scholarships available. And he told me, please, next semester make sure you apply. Guess what? Next semester I also got $16,000. That means I got a scholarship, okay? So that covered my education. So I always ask questions. So that is how people survive. That is how you are going to survive as a student, by asking questions, going on campus, seeing what scholarships are available, going online, seeing what scholarships are available for people who are maybe want to do nursing, for those people who want to, minority students, black students, they have all these groups, women, gay people, people who are struggling in different, first time college in a family, you just search some of those disadvantaged things, you can always get what? Some money. But basically people work, of course, okay? I've talked about this so many times. If you come as an international student, of course, the way you will survive is that visa, once they stamp it in the embassy, it's a permit to work on campus 20 hours per week, okay? But since you have to be in class for 12 credit hours, it can be tough to work too much anyway. So they only give you permission to work 20 hours per week. That is how people make money. When they come here, they survive. Okay, they also do CPT, which is full-time. You have to go to international office and ask about that. Okay, now some people will experience hardship. Some people will experience hardship when they are here in America. And I always say, after you work for 1 year or work with the international office, the finance office, and ask them, hey, how can I get hardship? Let them write a letter. Go to uscis.gov, download those forms of hardship. Say, hey, my parents or whoever was paying fell sick, or the currency now is very expensive. This is not what I expected. They've increased fees in this school. When I first came, they said it's going to be $100 per credit hour. Now the fees has increased to $120 per credit hour. When I left home, our currency was $100 to $1. Hey, the currency now is $110 to $1. This I did not expect. Okay, I fell sick because of COVID. By the way, we used to have on-campus jobs, and now we don't have any on-campus jobs. I've lost my on-campus job, so I'm asking for hardship so I can work and find job off campus so I can be able to pay my fees. Okay, so that is how people survive. Okay, now another way people survive, they ask for loans. International students usually have a difficult time securing loans because lenders in the United States, they know, of course, if you're an international student, what if after graduation you disappear? You will never be able to pay them. So they require you to have a cosigner. The cosigner has to be a permanent resident or a US citizen. Okay, so those two can actually cosign for you, and their credit has to be stellar. Their credit has to be very good. Most of them will not do it for you because they know you might let them down, so you're on your own. So what do people do? Okay, fortunately, there are organizations like Empower. I know the word is spreading like wildfire. I don't get any, it's not a sponsored video with them. I just try to help my people. From the time I came through that information, it has spread like wildfire in our communities because of Janet Rangi. I tell you, please, go have Empower, go there, see if they can help you. I'm not saying you'll qualify. Of course, like any other loan, they have to go and review with you. If you really need some money, only borrow loans if you really have to. I mean, you're stuck, you don't want to be deported. This is the time for you to do what? Ask for Empower to help you with a loan, okay? Now, I don't know if they will give it to you again. There's Prodigy. People are using that. And people have always asked me, Janet, do you know anyone that actually has Empower? Yes, I have followers that have called me. I had a follower from California. She said, Janet, I'm doing law and you're doing very good. I can tell you, you're very good at what you do. I said, well, thank you. Thank you so much. She said, I followed your videos, I applied, and I actually got Empower. Of course, if you take loans, you want to take a course that will help you. You want to graduate, and you know that after your graduation, you probably get a green card and pay them back. But of course, they know international students can also have things like CPT, where they can work and pay back. They know international students have OPT, okay, which it's like internship. They can work on campus 20 hours per week. So all those little things, they can work, at least have a loan as you work, and then you pay them back. Okay, another thing people do, of course, never forget to go to the financial office. You know what? Ask for payment plans. So if they have no payment plans, you say, please break down my payments to 4, 6, 8, wherever they can, however much they can spread, you take it. Okay, so that way you're less stressed. So you'll be paying as you go, and then before you know it, one semester is done. Before you know it, the second is here, then summer is here, then you start working over and over again. So this is how people are surviving, so that what? They can avoid deportation. Okay, scholarships, by the way, people come on my videos and they say, Janet, please tell me how people get scholarships. And I tell them, you know what, that is not the issue. The issue is, have you tried applying for a student visa? The first step of you getting a scholarship actually is becoming a student in the United States. So the question should not be, how do I get a scholarship? The question should be, how do I get F1 visa? And by there, I started classes teaching people how to do it. I've been doing this for a long time. People are joining classes. Please go in the link below. I will have my email. Sign up for my newsletter. We'll put you in some of those classes if you're one of those people that want help. I've been doing this a lot from Facebook. We are having hundreds of people coming to join my classes. So feel free, go to the comment section. I will and go down here in the links. I'll post my email. Okay, so those are the ways people are surviving. We said scholarships, we said work programs on campus, we said work programs off campus, OPT, CPT. Okay, we talked about Empower, applying for loans. Of course, if you're here and you came on a green card, of course you can always ask for FAFSA. Those are government backed loans. You can always go to the school and get loans. If you're a permanent resident, if you're a US citizen, then you don't even need Empower. You don't need this private, funding. You already have funding through the school. They'll teach you, or they'll help you how to apply for financial aid. Always, if you're a citizen or United States permanent residency, I mean, the sky is the limit. Money will never be the issue, okay? Of course, when you first come here, I always encourage you to learn how to build good credit. And Janet will do videos about good credit. You have to start on day one to have good credit, because it goes a long way. Your life will be much easier in America if you have good credit, okay? Please avoid deportation. If the worst come to the worst, always remember Janet Rangi said there's hardship. Go to that financial office, ask them, please file for me financial hardship. I have to find a job off campus. And I told you some of the things that you need to do to qualify for off campus hardship. You lost your job, or your sponsor lost their job. Your sponsor is not available to give you any more money. You fell sick. The currency is weak. When you first came, your currency was strong. You lost your job. You know, all those things, anything that you think you will be able to convince uscis.gov and explain why you need hardship. At the end of the day, they'll be happy that you're paying fees. Always ask for payment plans, my friends. Do not struggle. If fees is due within 15 days, go to the financial office. Say, hey, do you have payment plans? Let them break it down. Promise them. Have a promissory note. If you have a family member who is close enough, or a friend, they can co-sign for you loans. Okay, I will not recommend that. It's not easy to find people that will do that for you. If you're here in the United States and you are following this video and you know other ways how people pay fees, please share with our followers. Go in the comment section. The comment section is not just for Janet. The comment section is for all of us to learn, for all of us to share information. I've always said, even on my pages, that people come to the comment section and they find a lot. I've seen people go to the comment section, call me, they say, Janet, I found that conference through the comment section. Janet, I came as a student on F1 because of so and so. I went to the comment section. So the comment section is for all of us. Keep commenting and following, okay? I don't know if I left out. I feel like I left out many ideas on how people make money and go to school. So the whole point I'm telling you is to have a strong desire to succeed, okay? It's not about the money. I will always tell you my story. I came here with $200 in my pocket. $200 in my pocket, but I survived, my friends. My story, of course, I went to school, but I was a nurse. I had a degree. I passed my exams. And then I found an employer and I started working as a nurse. And then when I found my work permit and permanent residency, as I told you at the beginning of this video, I went back for my master's programs, I went back for my postgraduate programs, and I'm very happy with my progress. So for me, I didn't have to stay in school very much. If you haven't watched my videos, I've made a video on how people actually change from student status to permanent residency. It's possible. I've also made a video on how people survive and create wealth by being students in the United States. Today I'm covering on how we can pay. I'm just encouraging you so that you know, if you will be waiting to save millions, probably it will not happen. Do you have hands? God has given you hands, okay? It's not about giving you fish. Scholarships is someone giving you fish. And by the way, we appreciate, okay? We appreciate getting those free things, no problem. But in the end, if we know how to fish, Janet is teaching you how to fish, okay? If you find how to fish, you know how to fish, the sky is the limit, okay? You'll always ask questions. You'll keep searching for knowledge. You'll know where people get this money. Of course, for me, I did a course. When I was done with that course, I knew I can target employers who can pay for me my student loans. Guess what? I ended up going to school for free. Although I started by taking student loans, and then went to international office and said, hey, please help me. Not international office, but I went to ask for the scholarships in our program. And they gave me some scholarships. They gave me some tuition reimbursement. They helped me, okay? So going back, to this video, I told you I asked for extra money, okay? So they helped me with that. I asked for loans, FAFSA, student aid. Some of that money after graduation, I knew I chose my course very wisely, okay? For many of you, of course, I'm a family nurse practitioner. I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner. Those skills are needed everywhere. There's a shortage sometimes of doctors in some places. And some places will have you there. You do the job of a doctor and they pay for you fees. So I knew that. So when I graduated, I was like, you know what? I'm going to look for jobs with employers who are willing to pay for me money. Same to you, by the way. I almost forgot. I always know if I continue talking, I'll be able to remember something very important. Another way, if you're here in the United States, okay, and you're maybe a certified nurse assistant, I believe that if you search wisely, you can go to school for free. Okay, you can always, because these employers want people to go for nursing. Okay, they want people to go for nursing. They say, hey, if we pay your tuition for the next 2-3 years as you go to the program, you work with us part-time. After graduation, we want you to work for us full-time as a nurse in this hospital, and we'll pay for your fees. And it's not just nursing. Most jobs, they use that as an incentive to keep their employees. Did you know that? In the United States, employers incentivize. They like to keep their own employees. Once they get those skills, they want to reduce turnover. Turnover just means people resigning. They don't like when they give a lot of skills, they invest in training, they take their time now to invest in you. Now you have the skills and then you run to the next company because maybe they are not treating you well. Maybe they are not listening to your problems. So they have to incentivize you, keep you there, take you to school, not anything, but of course they will give you things. So always do your research. Where you are working, can you make use of that employer to pay, some of your fees? This is real, my friends. This is not, I'm not, like making this stuff up. I've never understood why people don't take advantage of this. I can tell you, I always say I share my personal stories. Now you see why Janet is doing, I do well. Partly, of course, I'm here on YouTube, okay? Of course, if I'm making videos every day and some people are going to party, of course, I'll make more money. I mean, money just goes with time. The more time you put in, the more you earn. I work hard, okay? So all of you don't have to be YouTubers. But when you go to school, you can always find someone to pay for you money. to pay for your fees. Okay, so thank you so much for coming. I hope you benefited. I'll continue making videos on this topic, on how you can survive in the United States as a student. At the end of the day, it's the strong desire to succeed. It has nothing to do with you being a millionaire. It has nothing, oh Janet, let me save, and then one day now I'll come and become a student. Good for you if you can do that, by the way. No problem. But always, in anything you do, success comes with hard work. Success comes with that desire, burning desire to make it. Asante sana, kwaherini, shukran. Thank you so much for coming. Merci beaucoup, muchas gracias. I will see you in the next video. Remember to subscribe to this Janet Rangi if you haven't subscribed. Okay, I love you so much. I love you more if you're subscribing and you're following. Okay, thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Okay, thank you so much, and bye bye.